Welcome everyone into my channel Everything PS. With UMD. If this is your first visit to our channel, make sure to subscribe and turn on the notification button. Do not forget to leave your feedback and your suggestions down below in the comments. This will help me to improve the content of our channel. Feature Summary Premiere Pro, September 2020 release. Learn about new features and enhancements in the September 2020 release of Premiere Pro, version 14.4. Scene edit detection. You can now quickly and efficiently add edit points in any footage you import into Premiere Pro. When you use scene edit detection, Premiere Pro analyzes your video, detects the original edit points, and automatically adds cuts or markers at each edit point within the file. HDR for broadcasters. HDR offers wider color and light ranges that are closer to real life. With the new Rec. .2100 color space, broadcasters can work with more vibrant and dynamic content. Features included are: Apple ProRes and Sony XAVCI formats are fully color managed and GPU accelerated throughout the HDR pipeline. Color space overrides are provided for files that have incorrect or missing metadata. The scopes can now be set explicitly to REC 2100 HLG, allowing you to view 10-bit code values, nits, or IR. Export with proxies. Enabling proxies in the Export Settings dialog box. You can now choose to use proxies while exporting if you want a quick export that doesn't require full resolution media. Other enhancements. Premiere Pro now scans VST3, third-party plugins and AU audio unit plugins multiple times faster, depending on your system setup. These plugins are automatically scanned by Premiere Pro when you launch the app the first time. Exporting an off with breakout to mono deselected now preserves audio channelization. Detect edit points using scene edit detection. Why use scene detection? Finding the original edit points in a video is necessary before you start editing the video. Using scene detection helps you to automatically get the cut points without having to go through the footage manually. Use scene edit detection to add cut points. After you import the footage, right-click the sequence on the timeline and select scene edit detection. You can also select the sequence and choose clip. Scene edit detection. In the scene edit detection dialog box that opens, select the following options. Apply a cut at each detected cut point. When this option is selected, Premiere Pro analyzes the footage and automatically adds cuts when it detects a change in the scene. Create bin of sub-clips from each detected cut point. Premiere Pro creates a new bin next to the original master clip, with sub-clip spanning the start of the clip up to a cut point. Then another sub-clip spanning the next segment of the clip up to the next cut point, and so on. Create clip marker at each detected cut point. Premiere Pro adds a clip marker instead of adding cuts. Premiere Pro analyzes your footage, automatically detects changes in scenes, and adds cuts at the appropriate places. Premiere Pro automatically adds cuts to the linked audio as well. If you don't want that, separate the audio from the video before applying scene edit detection. Alternatively, you can select the audio clips after the cuts have been applied, right-click and select Merge to merge the audio clips together. Next steps. Now that you have added cut points to your footage, you can now get started with the business of editing. Add transitions or effects, correct color, and more. HDR for broadcasters work natively in Rec. 2100 HLG, hybrid log gamma, in Premiere Pro. HDR offers wider color and light ranges that are closer to real life. With Rec. .2100 HLG color space support in Premiere Pro, broadcasters can work with more vibrant and dynamic content. Apple ProRes and Sony XAVC. Intra-codecs are both fully color managed and GPU accelerated throughout the HDR pipeline in Premiere Pro. This is not just one feature, this is a set of features that allows you to import, edit, and export HLG content in Premiere Pro, with a focus on professional broadcast workflows. The following codecs are currently supported in Premiere Pro. Before you begin system requirements, proper HDR monitoring requires dedicated I/O hardware and an HDR-compliant reference monitor or UHD television, hooked up using SDI or HDMI 2.0 or greater. Using AJA. Recommended AJA devices. Adobe recommends HDR-compatible devices from AJA driver version 16.0 or higher for best results. Set up Premiere Pro to work with AJA. Click Premiere Pro. Preferences. Playback, Mac OS. Or Edit. Preferences. Playback, Windows. Click Setup next to your AJA device in the list. Choose the HDR color space. 10-bit HLG is recommended. It can sustain UHD 60p and has broad support for displays. 12-bit HLG is limited to 30 fps at 3840 by 2160, a bandwidth limitation of the AJA hardware, and not all monitors supported. Note: Adobe recommends that you only make changes to the HDR color space in Premiere Pro. Making changes to HDR color space in the AJA control panel and in Premiere Pro can cause unexpected results. Using Blackmagic Design. Recommended Blackmagic Design devices. Blackmagic Design has HDR-capable devices in their deck link, and Ultra Studio lineups. Bermudian dollars. Desktop Video 11.6 or later. Set up Premiere Pro to work with Blackmagic Design. Click Premiere Pro. Preferences. Playback, Mac OS. Or Edit. Preferences. Playback, Windows. Click Setup next to Blackmagic Playback in the list. Choose color gamut. Rec. 2100 HLG. To improve performance, deselect unused video devices. Import HLG content into Premiere Pro in the Lumetri Scopes panel. Select the wrench icon and set color space to automatic. Import HLG media file. Import into Premiere Pro. Drag a clip from the media browser or the project panel onto the timeline. Premiere Pro automatically sets the new working space to Rec.2100 HLG. Lumetri Scopes also automatically switches to the correct color space based on the selected sequence or media. Preview rendering. If effects or adjustments are added that require rendering for smooth playback, you can render the sequence while maintaining HDR range and color space. When a sequence is set to the HLG color space, the video previews are automatically set to ProRes HQ at 1920 by 1080. Choose ProRes 4444 if you want higher quality color encoding. You can also change the video preview file resolution, however, you cannot choose any other codecs for the preview file codec. Tips. General rendering tips. Speed up your exports by selecting Use Previews while exporting. This option transcodes frames from the preview files, rather than reprocessing the effects. Tips. Rendering for ProRes. If your final deliverable is ProRes, save time by setting the preview rendering to match your deliverable specs. At the time of export, choose Match Sequence setting and Premiere Pro copies the rendered frames from the preview files without encoding or processing the effects again. You can render as you go and export quickly. Export sequence. Premiere Pro provides sequence presets for ProRes and XAVCI. You can also create your own preset specially to get the audio channelization correct for your specific deliverable. All our presets have stereo audio. Follow these steps to configure a proper encoding by hand. Click File. Export. Media. In the Export Settings dialog box, choose the format from the Format drop-down option. QuickTimer MXFOP1A. Open the Video tab. Find the Encoding Settings section. And configure the following settings for your format of choice. Click Export. Frequently asked questions. My files have incorrect or missing metadata. How do I fix this? Right-click the clip in the project panel and select Modify. Interpret footage. Or select the clip and choose Clip. Modify. Interpret footage. In the Color Space Override dialog box, choose an appropriate format. How do I manually change the color space in the Lumetri Scopes panel? To choose the color space manually, click the wrench icon. then select color space. And choose an appropriate option. How do effects work in HDR projects? Effects capable of processing in 32-bit color work in HDR projects. Export with proxies. Premiere Pro uses full-resolution media while exporting, even if you have enabled proxies in Preferences, Media Preferences, or by using the Toggle Proxies button in the program monitor. If your export doesn't require the full-resolution media, and if you want to export quickly, select the Use Proxies checkbox in the Export Settings dialog box. Note: if you select Use Previews in conjunction with Use Proxies in the Export Settings dialog box, Premiere Pro uses the rendered previews if a section of the timeline has both a rendered preview and proxy media. These further speeds up the export. Export AAF from Premiere Pro. Advanced Authoring Format (AAF) is a multimedia file format that allows you to exchange digital media and metadata between platforms, systems, and applications. Authoring applications that support AAF, such as Avid Media Composer, read and write the data in AAF files, as much as they support the format. Before you export, consider the following. The AAF files exported by Premiere Pro are compatible with the Avid Media Composer and Avid Pro tools. These AAF files have not been tested with other AAF importers. Transitions are placed so they appear only between two clips, not next to the beginning or end of the clip. Each clip must be at least the same length as the transition. If a clip has a transition at both the in and out points, the clip must be at least the same length as both transitions combined. When naming clips and sequences in Premiere Pro, do not use special characters, accented characters, or characters that affect the parsing of an XML file. Also, do not use characters like in UAAF files exported from Premiere Pro and imported into Avid Media Composer. Do not automatically relink to the source footage. To relink the footage, use the Batch Import option in Avid Media Composer. Note: merged clips are not supported when exporting an AAF file. Export an AAF. Choose File. Export. AAF. In the AAF Export Settings dialog box, choose the settings you need. Then click OK. Browse to a location for the AAF file and type a file name. Click Save. Recommended settings: exporting to Avid Media Composer. Select Use Tape Sources when present. Leave all other options unchecked. This action creates an AAF that links to the original media and does not create any new media files. Audio channelization is also preserved. Exporting to Avid Pro Tools. Select the following options. Select Enable Breakout to Mono. Optional. Select files depending on your workflow or on request from your audio mixer. If metadata preservation is important for later relinking in the audio application, select Separate Audio. Optional. Select format based on workflow or on request from your audio mixer. Note that the Broadcast Wave option preserves XML metadata. Optional. Select Render and handle frames based on your workflow or on request from your audio mixer. Here we go, we are done for today. Do not forget to leave your comment down below to help me to improve the content of the channel. See you next time. Goodbye.